you can escape the strange portal room trap every single time. This all comes from a Shroud clip that I watched last night.
Bro, what? Huh?
And I attempted to recreate it. It turns out it is a lot easier than you'd think. So all you need to find is the portal with the wall on its side. So for example, that one is it, and this one is not it, right? So what you need to do is you need to force yourself in between the portal and the wall, and then just hold forward, and it'll force you through just like this, right? And every single portal like this does have a wall on its side. All you need to do is you need to, go in between the portals, and you might be able to find it, right? The important part that we're looking for is that little lag back and forth, right? That's the super important part. And whenever we're able to see that little lag, that little little bounce or whatever, is how you know you're gonna be able to get it in the next second, right? So right there, we got that little lag in the right place, and we're able to walk right through. So here's a potential trap on the Yeager Soul Path map. Again, we're gonna be looking for the doorway, and we're going to be putting ourselves in the middle, and then we're gonna be walking like this. And we're gonna be forcing ourselves with that little lag to the other side. So it applies not in every single situation, but if you have two doorways, you can always get out. And then there are going to be weirder portals, right? Where it doesn't look like you could actually like do the little tech or whatever. But I promise, as long as you have this wall right here, you can just walk through, right? You might need to actually jump up onto the actual portal itself, but keep walking into it until you get that little lag, and you will be able to get through super easily, I promise. So one thing that we experimented with a little bit is if you could jump through the portal, or if that would make it a little bit easier, right? And I'm sure that some people will try and jump through it or after watching the video, right? Which would be you find that little wall, right? You get the little place and then you jump through it, right? And it does actually send you through a lot of the time. This was a great example right here. But we figured out that it's a lot more consistent to actually just walk through the portal normally, right? To get those little lag spikes back and forth, right? Obviously, if you aren't getting it in a bunch of different attempts, then sure, you can add some jumps in to see if the little extra height would push you through the portal. But generally, we're just going to be walking through, right? At a certain angle. And then, of course, there are situations like this where the portal is, above the ground a little bit. And all you need to do is just hop up onto the portal, right? Find the wall side, and then just keep walking into the wall. It's really simple. And very easy to still be able to do it, even if it's up above ground. One thing of note is that I believe every character can do this portal trick. I'm not too sure about flying characters. They might be a little bit finicky with this trick, but with every other character in the game, I believe you can do it really easily. I'm not sure about flying characters though. I believe it could be done. It just might be a little finicky, and I think it's worth testing it out. So once strangers get a little bit smarter, they'll realize that, hey, I can make it so that you can't actually get a wall, or at least a very easy wall, so you can do the clip, right? So for example, this would be a bad portal from a strange trying to spawn hold, because it gives you the wall to the right. Same with in the actual doorway itself, right? This would be a bad one because I can clip to the right, but this would be a good one, right? Because there's nothing to actually clip off of once the portal is out into the open like this, right? So I can place the portal right here. That's unlucky, but we're gonna go with it anyways, right? Again, doorway bad, because it gives you a wall to clip off of. So we're going to walk forward a little bit where it still blocks you off, but it's going to be really hard to find that wall, right? So for example, no wall, right? No wall through it. I can't clip off of anywhere right here, but there is always going to be a wall over here, right? And you're just going to apply the same principle of looking for that little tiny lag into the wall, and we're going to work with that to try and get through, right? So that was a great example of somewhere where we didn't necessarily have a wall on the best side of it, right? But we did have a wall over here that we could do that little lag, right? If you get that little lag where it sends you backward and forward, then you are guaranteed to get through if you just keep messing around with it for a second or two, right? As you could probably guess though, this trick does not work on very large doorways, right? So for example, this one, if you put it in the center, does not have a wall that you could actually play off of, right? So I believe even if that lag happens, right, we could try and here's another portal right here, right? And you won't be able to actually see a wall that you could lag off of, right? So right here would be super hard to lag off of, and right here there is zero wall, right? So we could try really quick if we could get this little lag portion right here, but it's going to be very difficult, right? Yeah. So I don't know if you actually can. Ooh, hold on. We did get a little bit lag portion right there. And again, as I said earlier, if you get one lag portion, it is doable. So here, I'm going to try it again really quick, right? So one portal goes right here. I don't know why it does that. And another portal goes right here, right?
A shortcut through space.
And we just need that little bit of lag, right? So I think it was on the left side over here. We're going to try our best to walk through the portal and get that lag. I didn't get it, did I? No. Did I? No. Wait, I did. Wait, I did. Wait, okay. Okay. So there is always I guess always a case where if you get the slightest bit of like wall, right? Even in these large doorways like this, as long as you get that little bit of wall and you can do that actual lag back and forth, you can walk through the portals, right? But obviously there are some situations like, for example, if you want to make it out of like this one, for example, right? Where a strange sometimes would put like a portal here and then flip around the second portal to be like right here or whatever. This is super niche or whatever, and I don't think this even blocks it off fully. But obviously, as you can see, there is no wall to actually like play off of, right? I mean, maybe you could get this one, right? But this would be a great example of, hey, I can't walk through this no matter how hard I try, right? Obviously, there is, in this niche example, you can just walk through here, right? But these kind of portals where there's no wall connecting means that you can't actually get through at all, right? So for those of you who are in like a competitive or a team environment or whatever, right, who want to use this trick to, save some of their matches, there is one important thing I do want to talk about, right? And it is the fact that you can't body block each other and you can't all try and go into the portal at the same time to get out, right? So for example, if we're on like the Yggdrasil point or whatever, like, the third one, right? Where, we're trying to recontest at the last second, we just died, but we definitely have another fight to recontest, right? Don't all try and do it at the same time because you're just going to body block each other and it's going to be annoying, right? The best tip I could give is to send at least, or at most, 2 people through the portal at a time, right? So let me get the portal set up.
A shortcut
Hey dude, how you doing? So for example, we have the walls on each side, right? Or at least usually we have 2 walls. Here's an example where I believe we only have 1 to actually walk through, right? But usually you do have 2 walls to try and get through. And if you're given 2 walls, you can put 1 person on each side of the wall, right? So for example, you can put probably like a tank, like the most survivable tank you have on your team, right? So like a Magneto is a great example, right? As someone who can stay alive on point and hold space, right? So if you want to put like a Magneto first on the right side or whatever to make sure he's through, and then maybe a support to help him out, right? Or maybe like 2 tanks, right? So that they can both hold space on point, right? Us poor DPS players, right? Poor Salak players or whatever, right? We're probably gonna have to wait until the end of the line because we are like the least important needed for a fight, or at least to hold space, right? But for everyone else, we should probably put like, a tank like Magneto and then a support like Luna. And then the next wave after those 2 get through would probably be like the off tank, right? Maybe the Venom or whatever, right? And then the other support to help them out, right? And then you can put the DPS 2 if you have, or the 2 DPS 3 if you have enough time, right? But a really big tip, again, what I'm trying to like say is do not like body block each other. Don't all try and go in at the same time because it will make your job a lot harder, right?
Enemy in front of us.
And this goes for the enemy strange as well. So if you are an enemy strange and you are trying to block someone off from getting through to the other side, you can actually body block people off, right? So for example, when we were going over here and we were trying to clip through the wall right here to get on the other side, you noticed how we always popped out right about here, right? So we were walking in a straight line here, and then the portal would pop us out like directly right here, right? So if you're the enemy team and you want to like kind of guarantee that no one's gonna walk out, which is really annoying, but it is the game. You could body block each other, or body block them. Sorry. So here's the enemy team. You just portal them off, and you know that they're trying to clip through using this method, right? What you can do is you can put yourself right here, and you could fully body block yourself from the enemy team, right? So if I'm like a stranger and I'm like walking into here, it's gonna body block the person who's trying to get out right here, if that makes sense, right? So that is like a little, quick tip for the enemy team. If you're ever the strange portaling off someone's spawn, you can try your best to body block further, right? Which would make it really annoying, right? And it does body block at least through to the other side. So that is a little heads up, right? It's unfortunate that there is probably a way that you could definitely, even after knowing this tech, there's probably a way that you could guarantee that people aren't going to get out of their spawn which is really annoying, and I hope they do fix that, right? So the reason of why we wanted to actually like find this out or whatever and experiment with this is because of how annoying, obviously, that this trap is, right? So it being in the game like this is in just a really infuriating spot, right? Without knowing this like tech to get out, right? Having to wait for like 15 to like, I think it's like 10 to 15 seconds for this portal to actually run out when you're trapped in spawn like this, when there's only 2 exits, is just super, super, super annoying, right? I think that the best way that I could say to fix this issue, outside of, you know, using this tech, right? As like a game developer standpoint, would be to give the portal a little bit of a like a hitbox maybe around the ring, right? So for example, like this ring right here could have like 500 HP, right? Where if I shoot the edge of the ring enough times, it would like break, right? I think that would be like a really good like little fix, or little at least like a band-aid fix to the actual issue itself, right? Because having these portals for 15 seconds where it just completely cuts off an angle and skips an entire fight is super annoying. I'm sure it's happened to you a bunch of times, especially if you're watching this video where, you know, you're trying to get out of point, right? And you like, there's totally a chance that you can recontest, right? Especially on like the defense on Yggdrasil, right? Where it's like, okay, I can definitely recontest here and I can definitely get another fight, but then a portal, you know, the enemy team portals you off and spawn, and you're just looking at the spawn doors like, well, nothing I can do, right? So it is definitely really annoying, and I hope it does get fixed in the future, but for now we do have this little trick to help us out, right? And I just wanted to thank you guys so much for watching, right? If you have any questions at all, you can leave it in the comments. I promise I'll respond. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and good luck in your games, all right? Have a nice day.